The Cade York roller coaster experience has taken another turn as he has been traded to the Washington Commanders. So we're going to break down this trade, tell you everything that you need to know about the kicker position for the Browns. Plus, we have some news and updates on the Mike Hall situation for the second half of today's video. But the Browns received a conditional 7th-round draft pick for kicker Cade York, who, if you recall, was, of course, a 4th-round draft pick by the Browns 2 years ago. Didn't really go to plan after week 1 against the Panthers. Ultimately got released. He spent some time with the Titans and the Giants last year. The Browns brought him back somewhat out of the blue. And ultimately, Andrew Berry flips a guy that was destined to have his NFL career end shortly for a 7th-round draft pick. So not too shabby by Andrew Berry. But yeah, Cade York will always have that Panthers near walk-off kick, a 58-yarder, which I'm happy to say was well worth a 4th-round draft pick, and I don't expect a single other NFL fan base to understand why, but I think every single Browns fan would do it all over again if it meant winning on week 1 for the first time since coming back in '99. So yeah, not too upset about it, but Dustin Hopkins, of course, the starter, and this was no competition or anything. He comes off a dominant season, 33 for 36, 91% field goal percentage, 10 of 13 from 40 to 49, and 8 for 8 from beyond 50 yards. So, Cade York, I'll just say good luck. I'll be pulling for you because we'll always have that Panthers win. And even if it came at a price of a lot of other really frustrating moments and some potential losses or ties that were missed out on, that Panthers win, in my mind, makes up for it all. It's not like that 2022 Browns season was destined to go all the way. So a 7th-round draft pick for a guy that was on the street a few months ago and was going to be the backup kicker, which doesn't even exist. Best case scenario would have been on the practice squad for the Browns. Not too bad of a job, but let's not pretend like a 7th-round draft pick is also some grand heist by Andrew Berry. It's better than nothing, I suppose, but it's a 7th-round draft pick still. So I'll be pulling for Cade York from afar, but I do know that the Browns play the Commanders this year in Maryland. So thinking it out loud right now, there's probably going to be some redemption moment from Cade York, and now I'm starting to regret everything I just said. So we're pulling for Cade York up until the Browns play the Commanders. But let me know. Was Cade York worth the week 1 win? Like, if you could do it all over again, would you do it the same? Or would you not take Cade York in round 4, maybe take some offensive tackle, a linebacker, I don't know, any position, and probably don't win week 1 against the Panthers without him, but maybe you've got someone better long term. I think I would just do it all over again, get the win against Carolina, not even because of Baker so much, although we would have been the laughingstock of the world if the Browns had lost to Baker in week 1, but mostly because of that monkey on your back for NFL week 1 for all those years. Now, next up on the show, we're going to talk about Michael Hall, the latest on the Browns rookie defensive tackle, who was arrested last week for a domestic violence dispute, and the story has taken quite the turn. Now, before we get to all that stuff, I want to tell everyone watching about our friends over at Game Time. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Now, one thing I really like about Game Time is they offer the Game Time guarantee. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. So take the guesswork out of getting tickets by downloading the Game Time app today and redeeming code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but again, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. I put all that information in the comments and description of today's video. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. So let's talk about Mike Hall for a moment because the big story broke last week about a domestic violence incident with his fiance with very disturbing alleging details of him putting a gun to her temple, saying, "I will effing end it all," dragging her out to the curb, throwing her belongings outside, throwing a baby bottle at her. That was the story that was released by the police report of the alleged incident. and the Browns did not take any immediate action. Mike Hall practiced the very next day. He played in the preseason game that upcoming weekend. And I mean, there was a little bit of like a, sticky situation here of, hey, if all this is true, why is he out there? But innocent until proven guilty. So I don't want to rush to judgment, but man, those are really disturbing details and they're hard to overlook. Well, here's the latest twist in the story. This comes from WKYC. Hall's fiance has recanted the most egregious of the accusations, the claim that Hall held a gun to her head. That's a pretty tough thing to make a mistake on. So clearly, there's some level of lying going on, right? I think we could just say the quiet part out loud here. Either she lied originally and made it all up, which that's a whole separate issue, or that did happen, but Mike Hall, NFL player, father of their child, fiance, maybe she decided it's better if he does not lose his job in the NFL and our support or our income. So I'll just take back that part and soldier on through. Both are incredibly disturbing and awful. Like I don't see a way how this ends positively for their relationship. Like, I don't think you can accidentally have a slip of the tongue go, did I say gun to my head? No, that's a big mistake. Sorry about that. That's not what happened at all. Like, clearly there's lying going on, and my guess is this will ultimately probably get dismissed or dropped in some way, shape, or form if she's already recanting part of the story, which was the most egregious part. So I don't know what's going on there, and it's awful, and hopefully if there is help that is needed, they get the help that they need. It was also revealed that this relationship has had some disputes before. In Columbus, where Hall went to college, there was a domestic violence dispute where she hit him with a glass bottle, and he was treated for minor injuries. Ultimately, he was not willing to provide testimony, so the case was dropped, and it ended there. But this is not the first incident or alleged incident, whatever you want to call it, between the two. And with an 11-month-old baby, man, from like a personal level, you just have empathy and hope that they figure it out for the child's sake so the child does not grow up in some like violent home that appears to be following them from Columbus to Cleveland. So I don't know what details went on to lead to this incident or what's going on, but that's a major twist in the story, and we'll see if the Browns or the NFL take any action. It's unlikely that at this point they do, unless like video evidence or just flat out blatant proof and not just he said, she said is released. Like if one of the neighbors had like a camera that shows the whole thing going down, then you can't really, refute that. But I think for the time being, it's probably going to be something that goes through the court system, and the Browns and the NFL are going to wait for the court system to kind of run their piece a little bit until they have evidence in front of them that makes them take action now. So there's a good chance Mike Hall does not see any disciplinary action, if ever, this season, right? Alvin Kamara is a prime example of someone who, at the Pro Bowl, right, got into that physical altercation, or not even altercation, just beat up a guy at an elevator. He did not receive a suspension until the next season. Rashee Rice, I mean, he had the entire driving incident in Dallas over the summer, hit and run. No word on him. Probably not going to see anything until next season when all the legal stuff kind of plays out a little bit. So there's a very good chance the same thing will happen to Mike Hall, and I'm sure the Browns are 10 times more aware and knowledgeable of the situation and got his side of the story. And if it is a he said, she said, and the two stories are very far apart, maybe they're picking Mike's side of the story. I don't really know, but I don't really understand how you can recount a gun to your head portion of a police report. That seems like a very difficult thing to mix up and confuse. So who knows what the real truth is? There's probably some truth in the middle, but that's the latest on 51. Now, before we get on out of here, we are closing in on 35,500 subscribers. We're only 26 subs away. So if you're looking for a Browns YouTube channel and host that comes in on their day off to get you guys the latest news, hit the sub button down below. Now, we have Pick a Card to wrap up the show. Shout out to Jack Lauderay for hustling in this morning to get you guys this video as soon as possible. Jack, which card do you want to go with?
Well, let's think about it here for a second. I'm going to take the Chipotle route. They try to rush you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to rush. I'm going to take my sec. I'm going to think about this. Let's do a 5 of Jacks.
5 of Jacks? I'm sorry, a 5 of what?
I was tricking you. I'm gonna do a 5 of clubs.
Okay. I was like, I don't think that's a card, sir. I'm gonna go with
I was testing.
I'll go
you.
with the Jack of clubs. I think you just kind of put that out there for me. Now, 4 of diamonds. 4 of diamonds. Okay. That's going to be it for today's show. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and we'll catch up later.